Shalom, shalom, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, YHWH'S Heavenly Scroll Unleashed. Today, we are going into the next story of the Heavenly Scroll, Taurus the Bull, the 9th story of the Heavenly Scroll. If you have joined me this far, I'm truly thankful and grateful. We are almost done with the complete story of the Mazzaroth, or Zodiac. Let's begin Taurus the Bull. The ancient image of Taurus the bull is an ox or bull charging towards its enemies, head down. In all languages, this constellation has been seen as a rushing bull. Also known as Shur, Hebrew, the bull coming. This connects with YHWH'S coming, bringing judgment on his enemies. The ancient star names of Taurus are Aldebaran, a bright reddish star in the bull's eye, means the captain, leader, or governor. This star being red reminds me of the drink called Red Bull, and it reminds me of Messiah YHWH'S eyes that are red, not blue. The hair on his head was white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were like blazing fire, Revelation 1:14. His eyes are like blazing fire, and on his head are many crowns, Revelation 19:12. These are the words of the Son of Yahweh, whose eyes are like blazing fire, and whose feet are like burnished bronze. Revelation 2:18. This proves Jesus is not the true Messiah, but is the false Messiah, for he does not fit the description of Messiah in Revelation 1:14-15. This should be a wake-up call for anyone. In the near future, I'm going to make a detailed video exposing Jesus, whose name means earth pig, who connects with Tammuz, who was killed by a boar pig, same false god, just hiding under a different name. The next star is Elnath. At the tip of the left horn means the wounded or the slain. Palilitium, Hebrew, belonging to the judge Wasat, Arabic, center or foundation. Al-Thuraya, Arabic, the abundance. Virgilii, Latin, the center, Arabic, vertex, turned on, rolled round. Pleiades, pronounced Pleiades, is a circlet of stars on the shoulder, meaning congregation of the judge. These 7 stars can connect with the 7 assemblies or ecclesias mentioned in Revelation: Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, Thyatira, Sardis, Philadelphia, and Laodicea. The Pleiades, also called the 7 sisters, have been a source of wonder for thousands of years and are connected to the agricultural seasons. They have inspired poets and guided sailors, and many ancient buildings were aligned to collect light from the star cluster, including the Parthenon and Mayan temples. The automaker Subaru's name is the Japanese word for the Pleiades. Pleiades means the congregation of the judge or ruler, comes to us through the Greek Septuagint as the translation of the Hebrew Kima, which means the heap or accumulation. The Syriac name for the Pleiades is Sukkoth, which means booths, which connects with the Feast of Tabernacle, where the Hebrew Jacobites offered 70 bulls over the course of 7 days, connecting with the 70 nations. This proves their salvation for all 70 nations only through the name of YHWH'S, whose name means, I am salvation. They were called the sailing stars, for early Greek seamen would set sail only when they were visible. On a clear night, a person can resolve 6 individual stars, and thousands of years ago, it was likely that 7 were visible. The Hyades is another group of stars on the face of the bull, which has the similar meaning of the congregated. Notice the names of the star, Hyades and Pleiades, means the congregated or congregation. This proves that the true believers of Messiah YHWH'S in ancient times did not go to a church, a physical building. This is more proof church is not the way. Plus, there's nothing coming out of Messiah YHWH'S mouth about a church. That word was added in the book intentionally. The correct word to use in Revelation, when the word church is mentioned, is ecclesia. It means a called-out assembly or gathering of citizens. Rather than referring to a physical building, the term spiritually and historically signifies a congregation of believers in Yahweh called together for a common purpose. This constellation connects with the following scripture. In Numbers 23:22, Balaam described Yahweh's power in leading Hebrew Jacobites. Yahweh brought them out of Egypt. For them he is as strong as a wild ox. Jude verse 14-15 describes King YHWH coming for judgment. YHWH is coming with countless thousands of his set-apart ones to execute judgment on the people of the world. This constellation Taurus also reveals the covenant of circumcision in the heavenly scroll, because there are numbers King YHWH uses to communicate things to his servants. I know in my previous video, Aries the Lamb, I talked about the everlasting law of circumcision, but I want to reiterate it again in this video to show you how important it is, because it's not really talked about on YouTube. So please listen closely to the numbers and see how YHWH like to use numbers to connect dots and communicate with us. First, let's read Genesis chapter 17. When Abram was 99 years old, Yahweh appeared to him and said, I am Yahweh Almighty. Walk before me faithfully and be blameless. Then I will make my covenant between me and you, and will greatly increase your numbers. Abram fell face down, and Yahweh said to him, As for me, this is my covenant with you. You will be the father of many nations. No longer will you be called Abram. Your name will be Abraham, for I have made you a father of many nations. I will make you very fruitful. I will make nations of you, and kings will come from you. I will establish my covenant as an everlasting covenant between me and you, and your descendants after you for the generations to come, to be your Elohim and the Elohim of your descendants after you. The whole land of Canaan, where you now reside as a foreigner, I will give as an everlasting possession to you and your descendants after you, and I will be their Elohim. Genesis 17:1-8. Okay, noticed it mentions Abraham's age was 99 when Yahweh made this covenant with Abraham. And noticed this chapter of the everlasting law of circumcision is in chapter 17 of Genesis. Well, this connects with the constellation Taurus, because Taurus is the 9th story of the zodiac, and there are 9 stars that make up the shape of Taurus the bull. So together, there goes your 99 that connects with Abraham when he was 99 years old, when Yahweh established the covenant of circumcision with Abraham. Then the constellation Taurus is the 17th largest constellation in the heavens that connects with Genesis chapter 17. You still think this is a coincidence? Wait, there's more. Let's continue reading. Then Yahweh said to Abraham, As for you, you must keep my covenant, you and your descendants after you, for the generations to come. This is my covenant with you and your descendants after you, the covenant you are to keep. Every male among you shall be circumcised. You are to undergo circumcision, and it will be the sign of the covenant between me and you. For the generations to come, every male among you who is 8 days old must be circumcised, including those born in your household or bought with money from a foreigner, those who are not your offspring. Whether born in your household or bought with your money, they must be circumcised. My covenant in your flesh is to be an everlasting covenant. Any uncircumcised male who has not been circumcised in the flesh will be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. Yahweh also said to Abraham, As for Sarai, your wife, you are no longer to call her Sarai. Her name will be Sarah. I will bless her, and will surely give you a son by her. I will bless her so that she will be the mother of nations. Kings of peoples will come from her. Abraham fell face down. He laughed and said to himself, Will a son be born to a man 100 years old? Will Sarah bear a child at the age of 90? And Abraham said to Yahweh, If only Ishmael might live under your blessing. Then Yahweh said, Yes, but your wife Sarah will bear you a son, and you will call him Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his descendants after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard you. I will surely bless him. I will make him fruitful, and will greatly increase his numbers. He will be the father of 12 rulers, and I will make him into a great nation. But my covenant I will establish with Isaac, whom Sarah will bear to you by this time next year. When he had finished speaking with Abraham, Yahweh went up from him. On that very day, Abraham took his son Ishmael, and all those born in his household, or bought with his money, every male in his household, and circumcised them, as Yahweh told him. Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised, and his son Ishmael was 13. Abraham and his son Ishmael were both circumcised on that very day. And every male in Abraham's household, including those born in his household or bought from a foreigner, was circumcised with him. Genesis 17:19-27. We have 99 mentioned again, connecting with Taurus the bull, and Ishmael is 13 years old when he was circumcised. This connects with the 13th brightest star in the sky called Aldebaran, which is a star in Taurus the bull. Then noticed Abraham mentions to Yahweh, "Will Sarah bear a child at the age of 90? This number 90 connects with Taurus because the constellation is located at Earth latitudes between plus 90 degrees and minus 65 degrees, because she was 90 when she had Isaac. And when Sarah and Abraham left Haran, Abraham was 75 years old, and Sarah was 65 years old at that time. So we have Sarah revealed through Taurus. These numbers are no coincidence. They connect with Scripture. This proves even more that the law of circumcision is important. Another interesting thing to mention is the constellation connects with the covenant Yahweh made with the Hebrew Jacobites on Mount Sinai, when Moses used the blood of bulls and sprinkled the blood of the covenant on the Hebrew Jacobites. When Moses went and told the people all Yahweh's words and laws, they responded with one voice, "Everything Yahweh has said, we will do." Moses then wrote down everything Yahweh had said. He got up early the next morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain and set up 12 stone pillars representing the 12 tribes of Jacob. Then he sent young Jacobite men, and they offered burnt offerings and sacrificed young bulls as fellowship offerings to Yahweh. Moses took half of the blood and put it in bowls, and the other half he splashed against the altar. Then he took the book of the covenant and read it to the people. They responded, "We will do everything Yahweh has said. We will obey." Moses then took the blood, sprinkled it on the people, and said, "This is the blood of the covenant that Yahweh has made with you, in accordance with all these words." Exodus 24:3-8. Moses foreshadows Messiah YHWH, who came to restore/purify the covenant with his blood that sealed the breach in the covenant. The first decan of Taurus is Orion, the son of man. The ancient image of Orion, Hebrew for the one coming forth as light, is a mighty man, a picture of YHWH, with a club in his raised right hand and the skin of a slain lion in his left hand. His left foot is crushing Lepus, his enemy, a decan of Gemini. He wears a girdle around his waist from which hangs a sword. For early risers, it is visible all summer. Late in summer, at the time of the grape harvest, Orion rises at midnight. And when Orion rises at sunset in autumn, sailors knew that the time had come to bring their ships to port. Orion the hunter appropriately faces the red eye of Taurus. His two hunting dogs follow behind, the big dog, or Canis Major, with the bright star Sirius, and the little dog, or Canis Minor, with the bright star Procyon chasing after Lepus the hare. Ancient stars of Orion, Betelgeuse, in his right shoulder, means the coming branch, connects with all the prophecies of Messiah YHWH as the branch, Isaiah 11:1, Jeremiah 23:5, Malachi 3:2. Regal, in his raised foot, means the foot that crushes, Psalm 91:13-15. The foot is lifted up and placed immediately over the head of the enemy, as though in the very act of crushing it. Thus, the name of the star speaks the act. Al-Nitak, one of the three in the belt, means the wounded one. Mintaka, also in the belt, means dividing, as a sacrifice, Leviticus 8:2. Bellatrix, in his left shoulder, means swiftly coming, suddenly destroying, Revelation 22:7. Siph, in his leg, means bruised, Genesis 3:15. Al-Rai means who bruises, who breaks. Thabit, Hebrew, means treading on. Al-Jabor, the mighty. Al-Nagjed, the prince. Al-Mirzam, the ruler. Heka,
coming. The people who walk in darkness will see a great light. For those who live in a land of deep darkness, a light will shine. Isaiah 9:2. He made all the stars, the Bear and Orion, the Pleiades, and the constellations of the southern sky. Job 9:9. Can you direct the movement of the stars, binding the cluster of the Pleiades or loosening the cords of Orion? Job 38:31. It is Yahweh who created the stars, the Pleiades and Orion. He turns darkness into morning and day into night. He draws up water from the oceans and pours it down as rain on the land. Yahweh is his name. Amos 5:8. YHWH'S will march forth like a mighty hero. He will come out like a warrior, full of fury. He will shout his battle cry and crush all his enemies. He will say, I have long been silent. Yes, I have restrained myself. But now, like a woman in labor, I will cry and groan and pant. Isaiah 42:13-14. Arise, Jerusalem, let your light shine for all to see, for the esteem of Yahweh rises to shine on you. Darkness as black as night covers all the nations of the earth, but the esteem of Yahweh rises and appears over you. Isaiah 61:2. The word gave life to everything that was created, and his life brought light to everyone. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. John 1:4-5.
Then YHWH spoke to them again, saying, I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. John 8:12. This scripture connects with YHWH as the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth will wail because of him. Revelation 1:7. Then will appear the sign of the Son of Man, Orion, in heaven, and then all the peoples of the earth will mourn when they see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great esteem. Matthew 24:30. When Messiah YHWH makes his appearance in our skies, he is not coming to bring peace on earth, but judgment. He is coming back with his spaceship or mothership. Many people believe that he's coming back on a literally white horse riding on the clouds throughout the world. But if you read closely, it says, every eye will see him. So literally every eye will see him at the same time. And a spaceship being seen in our sky fits this scenario. The Satan, the devil, who deceives the whole world, has been programming this world to believe in a soon alien invasion. Ask yourself a question. If the devil knew how Messiah YHWH would return, you don't think he will try to twist it and make the world think it's something bad? Because clearly they don't want the world to know Messiah YHWH is coming back in a spaceship. But if you read scripture closely with Elijah who got taken up in a whirlwind, and how Elisha's servant saw fiery chariots surrounding Elisha, or how Yahweh descended on Mount Sinai, these things aren't like how we imagine them. These were spaceships our ancestors were seeing, and we are going to soon see them again in our time. The terminology the ancients had used to describe what they saw was much different than the words we used now, because they didn't have English. They used words like chariots, clouds, white horses, etc. to describe spaceships. Then there are times where it says, the sky opened. This can refer to, in some cases, spaceship decloaking. As we get closer to King YHWH returning to our skies, we are going to see much more propaganda or programming of this so-called alien invasion. When we see more and more, we know we are getting closer. The second decan of Taurus is Eridanus, river of the judge. The ancient image of Eridanus is a fiery river flowing from under the foot of Orion. The ancient stars of Eridanus is Achernar, the brightest star at the mouth of the river, means the after part of the river. Cursa, at the source of the river, bent down. Zorak, Arabic, at the second bend in the river, flowing. Fiat, in the Dendera zodiac, mouth of the river. Ojah, the going forth. Fire spreads ahead of him and burns up all his foes. His lightning flashes out across the world. The earth sees and trembles. The mountains melt like wax before YHWH'S, before all the earth. Psalm 97, 3-5. As I watched, thrones were set up, and the Ancient One took his throne. His clothing was snow bright, and the hair on his head as white as wool. His throne was flames of fire, with wheels of burning fire. A surging stream of fire flowed out from where he sat. Thousands upon thousands were ministering to him, and myriads upon myriads attended him. The court was convened, and the books were opened. I watched, then, from the first of the arrogant words which the horn spoke, until the beast was slain, and its body thrown into the fire to be burnt up. Daniel 7, 9-11. Our Elohim comes and will not be silent. Devouring fire proceeds, storming fiercely round about. YHWH'S summons the heavens above and the earth to the judgment of his people. Gather my faithful ones before me, those who made a covenant with me by sacrifice. The heavens proclaim divine justice, for YHWH'S alone is the judge. Psalm 50, 3-4. When King YHWH'S comes, he will bring judgment on the wicked. The last decan of Taurus is Auriga, the shepherd.
Now, my sheep, do not fear. I am with you always.
The ancient image of Auriga is a gentle shepherd holding and protecting a lamb in his left hand. In some images there are two lambs, one facing the shepherd, the other watching the mighty figures of Taurus and Orion. In his right hand he holds a rein, freeing the fish people, people of Yahweh. The bands are symbolic of the bands in Pisces, fish. This links the two stories together like two bookends, painting a picture of the one who holds the reins, guiding and protecting the fish people. This is a distinct change. Yahweh's people are now pictured as sheep. This connects with YHWH'S as the Good Shepherd. I am the Good Shepherd. A good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. A hired man, who is not a shepherd and whose sheep are not his own, sees a wolf coming and leaves the sheep and runs away, and the wolf catches and scatters them. This is because he works for pay and has no concern for the sheep. I am the Good Shepherd, and I know mine, and mine know me, just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I will lay down my life for the sheep. John 10, 11-15. Here comes with power King YHWH'S, who rules by his strong arm. Here is his reward with him, his recompense before him. Like a shepherd he feeds his flock. In his arms he gathers the lambs, carrying them in his bosom, and leading the ewes with care. Isaiah 40, 10-11. This also reminds me of Psalm 23. YHWH'S is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runs over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of YHWH'S forever. When the time of destruction comes, YHWH'S is going to protect his sheep or servants from the coming destruction. Because you have kept my command to persevere, I also will keep you from the hour of trial which shall come upon the whole world, to test those who dwell on the earth. Revelation 3:10. But he who endures to the end shall be saved. Matthew 24:13. This is exactly what is presented before us in this last section of the chapter, which tells of the coming judgment. We have had the picture of a mighty bull rushing forth, then the fiery river of the judge, and now we see a great shepherd. He is seated upon the Milky Way, holding up on his left shoulder a sheep. She clings to his neck and is looking down, affrighted at the terrible onrushing bull. In his left hand he supports two little sheep, apparently just born, and bleeding and trembling with fear. The connected teaching of the two constellations, Eridanus and Auriga, is solemnly set forth in Malachi 4:1-3. YHWH'S, the King of Heaven's armies, says, "The day of judgment is coming, burning like a furnace. On that day the arrogant and the wicked will be burned up like straw. They will be consumed, roots, branches, and all. But for you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in his wings, and you will go free, leaping with joy like calves led out to pasture. On the day when I act, you will tread upon the wicked as if they were dust under your feet, says YHWH'S, the King of Heaven's armies." In Psalm 37, this day is repeatedly referred to, the day when the wicked shall be cut off, and it concludes by summarizing the same great truth. Psalm 37:38-40. "But the rebellious will be destroyed. They have no future. YHWH'S rescues the righteous. He is their fortress in times of trouble. YHWH'S helps them, rescuing them from the wicked. He saves them, and they find shelter in him." When King YHWH'S comes to return, he is going to come to gather his bride and gather his elect, and will execute judgment on this world, and go to celebrate his wedding feast with his bride queen Hawa, revealed in Revelation 19:9. "And the angel said to me, 'Write this, Blessed are those who are invited to the wedding feast of the Lamb.' And he added, 'These are true words that come from YHWH'S." Revelation 19:9. I hope the viewer enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe and share with others. Please stay tuned until the next story of the Mazzaroth, Gemini. Until next time, Shalom.